Hello and welcome back to our CAD clips on AutoCAD 2008. We're just going to talk a little bit about template files in our AutoCAD, and I'm just showing you when you first install AutoCAD 2008, there's a new features workshop splash screen that comes up right away. You can say, yes, I want to look at the new features, maybe later, which means it'll keep bringing it up, or you can say, no, don't show me this, I can go get it when I want it from the help menu under new features. So I hit OK on that, but notice down inside of here, when it starts up, it's loading a specific DWT template file here called acad.dwt from this particular location. Okay, so I'm just going to hit OK on this, and as my AutoCAD continues to load, if I go into here and we hit F2 on the keyboard, you'll notice that it has brought in some customization groups, etc. down inside of here. And I was hoping I would see what template file actually got loaded, but it doesn't list it here, so that's okay. I'm going to hit F2 on my keyboard function key and move that away. Talking about template files, when you start up, you're in a basic file right inside of here. It doesn't have anything inside of it. We can see our units moving around. As we start to draw objects, it's a little easier to kind of see where you are and the size and scale of things. But when you have a blank file like this, there's not much in there. When you start up AutoCAD, you have the choice of using different template files. I can have an imperial versus a metric, or I can have a template file that has a lot of blocks already inserted. It already has all my layers set up. It already has my title block and my sheet already set up. Very handy. The key is when you start up a drawing, you can have a template file used as the base file, and it saves you a lot of time and usability of previously determined settings. So a lot of settings and layers and default blocks and title blocks can be saved in your DWT template file. Therefore, when you start to draw, a lot of your drawing has already been set up. You don't have to repeat that. Every time you start a new drawing, if you have to go and immediately do a bunch of settings, well, the thing is then what you should do is take those settings and save them in that DWT. By default, or in AutoCAD, we use a .dwg. That's our drawing file. But a .dwt is a template file. If I go into here under Format and under Tools, under Options, and we go to Files here, we can go down to where it says Template Settings, and inside of here I can say Drawing Template Location. Get my drawing templates from this particular folder. Okay. When I use the Sheet Set Manager uses this file location. Okay, so that's just the folder. That's not the actual file. There's a button up here, right here, that says Q New. When you hit this button, it uses this particular template file, which in this case is set to be none. By default, it doesn't have a QNew template file. You have to go in here now and hit Browse and actually go select a DWT as your base DWT file. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit Cancel on here. And then when you do QNew, it'll automatically use a specific template file. Default template file for sheet creation and page setup overrides. Okay, we'll talk about that in an advanced lesson on sheet sets and overrides and stuff. So the main one here is the drawing template file location, where to find our template files. This could be on a server on your network somewhere, a Z drive or an L drive or a P, who knows, where you have your company template files. Okay, this is the out of the box location, but most offices will have their own folder somewhere with their own template files, and that should be set right inside of here. But Autodesk doesn't know that, so when the product ships, it ships and it says, okay, well, we'll use this basic folder here. And then we'll see how QNew works. So I'm going to hit Cancel. If I go up here and I simply say File, New, right? 3 dots means it's going to bring up a dialog box. And when it says File New, it says, okay, what template file do you want to do when you start this new drawing? And there's different template files that are in here, and there's also some subfolders inside of here. The base one is Acad. Then we have the Acad ISO and the Acad different plot styles. I'm not going to discuss all of these different template files, but if we click on here, we can see where that is located. Okay, and inside of there we can have our different metric or imperial or whatever template files we have. I'm going to start a new drawing using the Acad template file right here and hit open. Now I've started a new project. It's given it the name Drawing 2 temporarily, and now the idea is to go in here, draw some stuff, and go File, and then Save As, because I don't want to save it as Drawing 2. I'm going to say File, Save As, and then I can go Browse to a folder, and then I can select that drive or wherever I want to save my drawing. So Saving and Save As. Now if I hit my Q New button here, which means New Drawing, make it quick, oh, it says, well, pick a template file, so I can pick a different template file from inside of here. Okay, and the tutorial ones will tell you to use manufacturing, architectural, etc., different supplied template files. We can also go over here to My Documents, Favorites, etc. We can even add folders in over here. Okay, which I'll talk about in another lesson. So template file is a DWT file, a drawing file is a DWG file, and the DWTs are only used to start a new drawing file. I can actually go open a DWT. I can go File and then say Open, and instead of opening a DWG, I'm going to click on here and say Open a DWT, and then I can go open up that DWT file, and if I open it and save it as the DWT, anything I save in there will then be used for subsequent startups that use that template file. So the template file is a kind of a developing file over time, constantly getting stuff added in to make your startup go faster, and they're saved. They can be saved anywhere on your server, network, local drive, doesn't matter. Okay, usually there's a standard template file everyone in the office will use so that everyone's text styles and fonts and hatch patterns. This promotes consistency. If everyone in the office uses the same set of template files, then it promotes consistency between everyone's drawings. If everyone uses a different template file, right off the bat they're starting on different feet, which is not a good idea. So this is something that the CAD manager or someone needs to establish the company template file. And you can have more than one, of course, depending on, you might have one for landscaping, one for mechanical, one for structural, one for civil, different template files. So those template files are there, and of course we saw under Tools, Options, under Files, okay, on the top, there's our template file folder locations, and that's why it keeps going to that same folder when I specify template. And now if I go down here to my default template for Q New, and instead of saying none, I go Browse, and I'm going to say, okay, using the ISO 3D template file, or maybe just this basic Acad ISO, and I hit Open. Now it's going to get saved, and I hit Apply and OK. Now when I say Q New, bink, I click on there, it starts a new project using that particular template file, and it doesn't prompt me for a different one. So that's not everything you need to know about managing template files, but it does give you some insight as to when you start up a project, use a template file, and it'll have a lot of your settings and layers and internal stuff already done for you.